nice to see everybody. Thanks so much for joining me today. We are very excited because this is our final lesson for our Enya's Only Time song and our Westworld theme song. So we're going to be starting with Enya, of course, this afternoon. But before we get started, if you can do a few things for me, okay? The first thing is if you can like and share this video to your network, I would really appreciate it. Every single share and every single like and every reaction to this video helps me reach more people, okay? The second thing, of course, is if you can subscribe on YouTube. I would love to have you through YouTube. That way you can get notifications whenever I upload our newest lesson videos, as well as reaching even more people. So I appreciate that very, very much. The next thing is of course, I have a private piano Facebook group, right? If you're in the group, then you know that it's very interactive. We post videos, we get feedback, we give each other encouragement. I would love to have you in that group too. So just put your request into Encore Music Makers on Facebook, and I will approve you to join our piano group. And the last thing, of course, is I am on a platform for creative people called Patreon. Patreon is a really easy way for you guys to sort of automate a regular donation to me every month. I have different tiers that you can join from $5 a month all the way up to $50 a month if that's what you can afford, right? What I'm providing here are full-length lessons that I would give a normal private piano student. So this is exciting, right? You're getting full lessons for like no money at all, right? If you want to help support me, you can do that through Patreon. So just visit patreon.com/IzzyChia. All right, well, I think we're ready to get started. What do you say? Yes, okay. So, and also, if you're watching live, go ahead and comment or hit some emojis or reactions just to let me know that you're here and watching, okay? All right, so I've got my Enya, okay? Of course, I have my file folder, right? This is like a crazy long song, so I have all of my pages printed out. You can see it all across my whole piano here, right? Yeah, and last week we had learned about the key change section, right? So the key change section was so crazy, right? It was like going from E flat major all the way to F sharp major. Can you believe that? Those changes were just outrageous, right? And I know that during my practice this past week, there were a couple times where I was like totally boggled, right? So I'm hoping that when I run through that section we learned last week today that I don't get like mind boggled. But stick with me if I do, okay? It's not an easy section, okay? So it starts there on the top of page 4, the end of the first line. You can see all of your sharps, right? So I'm going to see if I can start there and then play just that section that we learned last week, okay? Let's just see how it goes, okay? All right, let's switch to piano view. Awesome. Okay, well, I'm going to fold these pages in because I need to be able to center this here. That's better. Okay. Now, finding my spot. Let's see. We're starting here on a low F sharp, and I've got a triad, F sharp major triad, okay? Oh, goodness, yes. Let's see how this goes. This might be interesting. I'm going to count off. Let's see how it goes. 1, 2, 3, ready, and play. Oops. See, I already messed up. See, I skipped. I anticipated. Let me try it again. 1, 2, 3, ready, and play. told you it was tricky, right? Yes. For those of you watching live, I'm not one of those teachers that is afraid of, admitting my mistakes, right? I'm sure you've noticed. But that's okay, right? I'm a real person. I got, I got 3 practice days in last week. I could have probably done more, but that's okay, all right? I'm going to see if I can play that F sharp major section once more now that my brain is kind of back in the groove of my key. And let's just see how it goes this time around, okay? If you want to play with me, go ahead and feel free to do so. If you want to listen along or just play one hand, that is fine as well, okay? Let's try it. All right. Yes. F sharp major section. I'm starting here with that F sharp major triad in my right hand. I have my low F sharp here with my left hand. We're in 3/4 time and I'm going to count off. Ready? 1, 2, 3, ready, and play. Transition was a lot smoother, okay? That transition was smoother, right? I still had one chord that I got incorrect, which is okay. When I was doing my drilling of this section, I noticed that I would do really well for the first 3 or 4 times through, and then all of a sudden, I would get it wrong in the right hand on that 5th time, and then consistently I would get the chord wrong after that. That's when frustration sets in, because you're like, man, I did this right, and then all of a sudden it's wrong. It's part of learning piano, right? Is you've got to have those really good practice habits and really good drilling habits to where you can extract a section and work it different ways. What I ended up doing to fix that was I changed the way I was playing those drilled sections. I would play it as written, right? Nice and legato with pedal, sounding really nice. But I ended up switching it completely, no pedal, and I played it all staccato. And that really sort of left my chords and my notes very vulnerable, right? It really helped my ear pick out those tricky spots. So I was able to fix those chords within the drilling when I completely took out the water of the watercolor, right? So after practicing and drilling it staccato, I was able to notice those changes and those mistakes. Then I went ahead and fixed them and put them back in a legato form. And that really helped me. That might help you too, all right? So now you notice at the end of page, of the section that we just played, right? It has a dal segno al coda, right? So do you remember what dal segno al coda means? Yeah? Okay, so dal segno, that is referring to a sign, segno, right? Sign. You look for the sign, all right? It says dal segno al coda, right? So what I want you to do is at the end of the top of page 5, you see that sign. It kind of looks like an S with a line and 2 dots. What I want you to do is find that symbol and see if you can find it here. I found it at the top of page 3, okay? This is at measure 22. All right, let me show you what that looks like. All right, 22. Do you see that sign right there? I circled it. Yes. Now that is the segno, right? That's the sign. All right, now with that, they tell you you're going to play starting at that point. And you're going to play, 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 play all of page 3. And when you get to the end of page 3, you see it says to coda, and it has the coda symbol. Okay? Now, from there, you're going to zip all the way back to page 5, the coda. okay? And this is basically where the song ends, right? We've got 2 lines of the coda that we have left to learn, okay? After we learn the coda, we're gonna see if we can play the entire song, okay? It might be a lot to do today, but if you get some really good practice in, I promise you, you'll be able to play the entire song. And that's the goal, right? We wanted to learn this song. All right, so let's take a look at the coda. Look at page 5, okay? Page 5. All right, so a couple things about page 5. The coda. It's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 measures long, so it's not too bad, right? It begins with a nice A flat major triad, right? And then an E flat. We've got a couple little tied notes in there that we have to be aware of rhythmically. And it looks like the phrasing for the first 2 measures is copied in the second 2 measures. Okay, so you're going to play that closing phrase twice. And then the ending, the last 3 measures, is a little bit different. They break that rhythm down into 8th notes in the right hand to match the left hand, okay? Now, I didn't see any sort of notation for a ritardando, right? I like ritardandos at the end of music because they really signify the end of a song. So if you feel like you naturally want to add a ritardando at the end of this piece, feel free to do so, okay? I know I'm not the composer, but, you know, if we want to add our little style to it, that's okay too, all right? Now, I did notice that there is an arpeggiated chord marking, right? Kind of looks like a squiggle going all the way down in the very last final measure with the fermata. That squiggly line means that you can arpeggiate these chords, okay? So if that means you can play each note individually starting from the bottom all the way up to the top, right? So it would sound like, or a little quicker. Yeah. Do you hear the difference? Instead of playing it straight, you would play it arpeggiated. Sounds a little fancier, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay, so let's see if we can play through the coda. Let's just start with the right hand only, okay? I'm going to switch to piano view so we can do that. All right. Now I'm starting here with that A flat major triad, okay? All right, I'm going to count off 1, 2, ready, play. E flat, F, D, 2, 3, 4. The same thing. 2, 2, 3, 4. Now we have a third. G, F, G, F, E flat, G, F, G, F, E flat. Yeah, sounds pretty nice. Yeah, okay. So switching back over here. Yes, so the right hand, you get the idea. It's just 2 phrases, right? The first one's repeated twice, and then the ending phrase is breaking that chord down a little bit further into 8th notes, okay? Now let's check the left hand, all right? You're gonna do great. This one's not as tricky as the rest of the song. Yes, so we're starting here with the low A flat, okay? That low A flat, I'm playing it probably, I'm guessing with my finger 4 or something, or 3. And we're going to begin there with that low A flat in the left hand. We're still in the coda section, okay? All right, 1, 2, ready, play. Very much like the beginning. Slow it down if you can. And E flat octave. And there it All right. I'm pretty impressed. This is, a nice ending to such a beautiful piece, right? It's a song that brings you peace and tranquility, helps you meditate. I know some people like to do that to Enya's music. I'd like to attempt the coda hands together since it is not as confusing as some of the rest of the piece, right? Now, after we play the coda section, that's when we're going to start putting these puzzle pieces together, right? We had learned different sections. We have that really crazy road map, right? Going from the end of the fourth section to the dal segno, going back to the segno, and then jumping to the coda. We're going to practice that after we do this run through, okay? All right, you guys are doing great. Oh, Catherine, you keep disconnecting? Oh yeah, okay. It happens. I know sometimes it's tough to get that internet connection, but just follow along if you can, okay? Okay. Starting with the coda, hands together. Let's see how it sounds, okay? I'm going to start hands together. I'm going to count off. 1, 2, ready, play. Slip up in there. I think I held, or I had forgotten to play the low B flat in the very first measure. I think I held my A flat a little bit too long, but that happens. Yes. Okay, so that was the coda, okay? Now with that coda, remember we talked about the road map, right? So we had the road map going from, if we're starting at the very beginning here, all 6 pages open, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages open, we start at the beginning, right? And then we have the first verse, right? And at the end of page 2, we drew a star. And that star is telling us to go back to the first page and play verse 2. After we play verse 2, we jump to page 3 after we finish. We play all of page 3, all of page 4, and the top of page 5. At the end of that first line that's the dal segno. You jump back to page 3 to the sign and you play all of page 3 again. When you reach the end of page 3, it says to coda and you jump to the coda and you play the very end of the piece, okay? It's a crazy long road map and it's kind of a crazy long song, okay? I'm happy that all of you have stuck with this because it's not an easy song, okay? You've probably noticed by now. All right, well, now let's see here. I think it might be a good idea to perhaps work on that transition between the segno to the coda, okay? That jump from page 3 to page 5, okay? So let's turn to page 3, all right? Page 3, all right? If you can find your spot, go ahead and do that, all right? I'm going to switch to piano view. At the top of page 3 with the segno, we're going to start right there, all right? And I'm going to get my hands into position. After I play all of page 3, when it says to coda, I'm going to jump to the coda. You should do that too, as best as you can, all right? Let's see if we can play this together, all right? Okay, 1, 2, ready, play. All right, I had a couple spots where I think I just had like a brain freeze, but you know, it happens. This is live. So yeah, I think that was pretty good. When I'm practicing for this week, I'm going to mainly be focusing on transitions, right? Moving from the Sangam section to the coda, because my brain is used to reading it all, you know, all in order, right? But when I have all these jumps, I need like reminders, right? So maybe I'll draw like a really big pink star, or put like an emoji sticker or something to tell me like move to the coda, right? If you need a reminder like that too, feel free to put that in your music. That's why you have your own copy. Okay, now I guess I should try and play this whole thing, like the whole song, right? What do you guys think? Should we try it? It might be kind of crazy. I'm gonna do it with repeats, so I might be playing for a good long while. Okay? If you guys are up for that, let's go ahead and get into our E flat major position, okay? Now, if I make a mistake, I'm not gonna stop. I'm just gonna keep going as best as I can, okay? Now, when those transitions happen, it might be a little bit delayed only because, again, I am training my brain to read through these transitions in a smooth way, right? And if I notice that I'm delaying in a certain section, like I said, I'm going to put a little reminder, like a sticker, or I'm going to color like a big pink star or something like that, okay? All right, let's see if we can try it. Wish me luck. Okay. All right, so we're here in piano view. Okay, so all of my music, I haven't played this whole thing all yet, but I guess I'm going to do that today, huh? All right, let's give this a try. We're starting here with our low E flat. All right, I'm ready when you guys are. Ready? 1, 2, ready, play. Okay, well now you know, right? Like the transitions are really the ones that got me this time. But I did successfully play the whole thing all the way through, for the most part. I hope you enjoyed that, minus the really interesting mess up. But that's okay. I know what I need to practice. I hope you know what you need to practice. I'm happy that we learned this song together. I'm going to see if I can keep practicing it and get a chance to play it on my mom's Steinway and record it there, okay? The whole song. But yeah, thanks for joining me. We did a really good job. I'm proud of each and every one of you for sticking with me and learning this really tricky song, okay? I promise I have a lot of really cool songs up on my list of things to practice and learn. I've gotten some requests from Twitter. I've gotten some requests from Facebook and Instagram. It's been so much fun. I've had such a great time. So, again, quick reminder, I am on Patreon. If you feel like you'd want to sign up as a patron, I would really appreciate it. Learning these songs along with you has been a lot of fun. It's also been a very eye-opening and honest experience for me. So consider supporting me on there. I have $5 a month all the way up to $50 a month if you want to help support these lessons that I'm bringing, okay? All right, well, the last thing I want to do for the Enya lesson, of course, is end with our music quote, okay? Let's see what we've got for our quote today. Okay, so our music quote today comes from the actor Johnny Depp. This is what he says. Music touches us emotionally where words alone can't. And that's true, right? It's something when you hear a special song or a special instrument being played. I know whenever I hear like the oboe, I don't know, it's kind of a funny thing. I hear the oboe, and when I was a little kid, my mom used to tell me that when I heard the oboe being played, I said that the oboe sounded like it was crying. And she said, oh, that's so very emotive of you, right? And that's the thing, is like music can really touch us emotionally in certain ways. Luckily, we've been able to learn a really beautiful piece here on the piano that hopefully brings you joy and helps you bring peace and tranquility to those that you get to play this song for. So keep practicing, keep it up, all right? I will see you guys very soon. I've got my Westworld lesson coming up. So stick around if you're here for Westworld. But if you're here for Enya, and then that means that we are finished, okay? Blessings to you guys. Love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you guys very soon, okay? Take care.